Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's fantastic watch party for In Search of Legends. It's coming, people, for Return to Oz. We're going for more kinder trauma. We know you loved our Watcher in the Woods traumatizing you. We thought we'd hit this. As always, I'm Andrew, and I'm joined by Dom. Welcome, Dom.
Hello, everybody. I'm looking forward to the kinder trauma, sharing it with everyone.
I think there's a lot of people who've not seen this before. Let's quickly do a roll call and then we'll get into discussing the film. So I can see we've got our friend Immortal Rimus joining us over on YouTube saying, hello, everybody. I can join another watch party since it's on Disney Plus. I know that's why we thought this was a great film, because it's easily available. And Rob St. James is joining us as well. Welcome, Rob. And I can also see we've got our friends, our gang, our Sunday night crew joining us over our Discord server. We've got Mad Matt. We've got Sharon, Calbot, Mr. Furzel, Chaos Fear. Let's carry on scrolling through the people here. We've got Lizard Man. We've got Eric. David Mice is joining us. Mr. Furzel, I'm not sure I said you already. Onzi, Leanne, Edward the Black Prince, and so many people are joining us. Oh, Rob St. James says, this film is amazing. I saw it at the cinema. That's really cool. That's really cool. So everybody, today's sync point, since most of us are watching it on Disney Plus, will be just as the castle fades in. And a bit of trivia that was just said by Mad Matt, which is from IMDb, says it's the first appearance of the Disney logo in that format. Oh, that's a great idea, Lizard Man, because Secret of Nim is on our watch party list. We will be watching it as part of In Search of Legends. So that's going to be a treat for later in the year. We're going to be doing a bit of animation. And I can see welcome to Carolina Russo joining us from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Okay, so for all of you joining us today, just to make sure you know, you do need your own copy of the movie to play along. We can't stream the movie on YouTube, unfortunately, due to copyright restrictions, but it's on Disney Plus. Most people have got a Disney Plus subscription. It's easy to play. Anyway, Dom, let's get talking about this film. When did you first see it?
This is another one of those movies that I can't remember when I first saw it. It was a dusty, crusty VHS copy. I probably did see it on TV first, because I know it was shown on TV a lot in the UK. And I must have found tuning in just as one of the kinder trauma scenes happens, which...
There's many.
It's like Russian roulette. If you're flipping through the channels, you're more than likely going to get a kinder trauma scene with this one.
You really are. Also, welcome to Cute Cult joining us over on YouTube. But yeah, it's certainly full of kinder trauma. What's quite interesting for that a lot of people maybe don't know is this isn't actually a sequel to the film The Wizard of Oz. It may feature the ruby slippers. However, Disney had to pay quite a lot of money to MGM to license the use of them, as they were a property created for the MGM movie. But it's actually a mashup of various other Oz books. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, everybody. Dom? Welcome to Bikies. Time, Dom, to do the countdown, please.
I feel like there's a guillotine coming down on everyone's neck. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press play, everybody.
There we go. And we're seeing that Disney castle. And as Sharon is saying, that's what's very, very true. It was touted as a sequel and treated like it by the public. Very much so. It was a bit of that bait and switch marketing, especially the posters don't convey the darkness of this movie. They make it look like a very jolly adventure.
When I clicked on Disney Plus and found it, the banner,
yes,
it's such a sneaky banner. It seems so welcoming and inviting.
It really does. And Rob St. James says, Wheelers, Headless Mombi, Gnome King, Electroshock. Where do you start with this film?
Even the opening here, it feels like the Twilight Zone movie. I don't know why that's in my head, but I guess it's the panning from the stars.
Eric says, how is this not a sequel with that title?
Right.
I understand where you're coming from. But Immortal Rimus says, I remember seeing this when I was 5 on TV for the first time, and the psychiatric hospital scared me the most, as well as those Wheelers. Yeah. The score is great. It's not even a happy score, is it? It's just...
No.
Yeah, Onzi says the the music of this movie is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's past 1 o'clock in the morning, Dorothy. Were you on your phone? Texting your friends, Facebooking and similar.
Oh, yes. I swear I had that exact flower pot in my house when I was a kid. We didn't keep flour in there, though. I think we kept cookies in there.
Looking at this here, it's got some great comments. Still a better film than Oz the Great and Powerful. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Lizard Man saying Alice and Dorothy would probably make great friends, but it is a very, very similar.
Mm.
This is it's also such a more realistic, grounded twist on the story than the original film.
For sure. It doesn't start with very bubbly, nostalgic, like time for the like frontiery era, like the first movie. Well, even I'm calling it a sequel. Like
exactly the movie that came before that everyone believes is the prequel. One of the other things as well is it's a very interesting in that it's a sequel that shows the repercussions after, because so many films end with the person gets home and the world is wonderful afterwards and everything's great, on to another adventure.
Lived happily ever after.
But we can see she's come back and she's actually quite traumatized from this, and they think it's PTSD from the tornado.
Yeah.
But Phonic's saying it's Fruza Balk's first movie, and she is fantastic in this.
I genuinely didn't know that it was my crush from the Craft that plays Little Dorothy here.
So we had a question from our friend Immortalimus. A bit of a statement / question in YouTube saying the film is based on Ozma of Oz or something. It's actually based on 2 books. It's based on The Marvelous Land of Oz and the Ozma of Oz. But I tell you what, though, it does make you wonder when you see if there is something in it about, is she imagining everything that happens?
Mm.
Is she genuinely psychiatrically damaged? Did she imagine everything that happened in Oz? Has she dreamt it all? Because that's what it appears from the first movie / story. And even here. So, I mean, that key, if that is actually, as we're finding out, the key to the old house, did the old key just appear to say Oz on it, and that was her role-playing, a fantasy game?
Could be. I think it's the most effective Oz film. Not that there's many, but I think it's the most effective one at giving that ambivalence.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't sleep right after tornadoes, to be honest.
It's Catherine Martell. Oh, that Piper Laurie. I was like, I know you from somewhere. Where is it?
Yeah,
it's from Twin Peaks.
Very young Piper Laurie, isn't it?
Yes. Catherine. She was in the Faculty as well.
Exactly. David, you've absolutely nailed it. 100%. This movie is like the American McGee's Alice. You know the story, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the stuff in the hospital is very Alice.
Oh. I've always felt like American McGee wants to make movies. Like his games are very cinematic. Even back in his Quake days, the way he made levels was very cinematic. The man's got some things going on up in his head. And if you want to know more about American McGee, we're not doing the Indiegogo sale anymore, but FPS, he was interviewed.
Yeah, we can sign up for the FPS socials, and I'm sure in the future there may be a way to see the documentary.
Oh, yes.
Immortal Remiss is saying, plus after visiting the fantastic land of Oz and coming home to well, what we see, no wonder why she's so eager to return. Yeah, exactly. That's the crazy thing, isn't it? That I don't know. There is a strong possibility everything is just in Dorothy's mind.
Hmm?
But does that make it any less real?
Hey, reality is what you make of it. And if you experience pain, be it in a dream or in reality, it's still pain.
Wow, we're getting deep here. But it's a beautifully shot movie. The score is lovely. Everything is just where it needs to be for this.
For sure.
It's I mean, this is something I was, when I was doing my research on the film, the cinematography in this, there were two cinematographers. There was David Watkin and Freddie Francis. For those who don't know, David Watkin was a British cinematographer who won the Academy Award for the best cinematography on Out of Africa. And he was basically a legendary cinematographer who worked a lot with Richard Lester. But also, he was nominated for many awards. The other uncredited cinematographer was a chap called Freddie Francis, who was another British photographer who also won an Academy Award for cinematography. And he was also the cinematographer on the movie he made before this was Dune.
Oh.
So,
2 flops in a row.
yeah, but equally, we've got 2 Academy Award winners creating these beautiful shots.
Talent oozes out of this movie.
Oh, it really does.
Everywhere you look. Set designers as well. I am fully believing this to be a very period piece film. And they're never cheap to make, but flipping from there to Oz.
Exactly.
Must have cost an absolute fortune in set designing and costume designing.
Now, something I will say is, this is the thing that Disney do in a lot of their movies now, and I think Netflix is starting to do as well with the older things, where it says contains depictions of like tobacco consumption, because this character, for example, the doctor we're seeing here, played so amazingly, we see later in the film, played by Nicole Williamson, is smoking continually throughout this film. He's smoking a pipe. Unfortunately, this actor was known for smoking throughout his career. That was one of his trademarks. And he died age 75 from esophageal cancer caused by smoking, unfortunately. So, that is so creepy, the design of that machine. So simple, yet creepy. No, we're just going to burn out part of your brain.
Yeah, we're not.
With electricity.
So sinister. There's so much. Like, the musical score, even when it's like a triumphant march or like a jolly march, there is a sinister undertone that just makes your brain realize something's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take step of where we are. We are 11 minutes into the film, and they are about to strap Dorothy down and fry parts of her brain with a primitive electrical machine. We're off to see the wizard. Yeah, it's not quite, is it?
No. I've noticed there's a lot of low camera angles as well, which
Yeah.
implies that they're, filming from Dorothy's perspective.
I think that's really good, though, because it makes everyone seem that bit much bigger and more towering over her.
Yeah.
And let them fry part of your brain.
Uh-huh.
And I'll bring a bucket for you to drool in all the way home. You also wonder if this is very much of the medical practices of the era, where you had doctors who were beginning to understand a little bit more about the human body and its connection to things like electricity, but it was very eager to experiment with these newfangled machines, these new
Yeah, new toys are fun.
Exactly. If you want to see a great example of this nonsense belief, it's a partially true story. I recommend you check out the film called The Road to Wellville, about the Dr. Kellogg. And that's a very bizarre film, but it also shows people obsessed with these strange machines.
The lack of color in practically everything makes everything seem so bleak.
Really does. Really
and
does.
I suppose for an audience... Oh, go on.
Immortal Ruins is saying that the angle is to put the audience into perspective. It's true. It's really, really good.
It's just classic tricks of the trade.
Yeah. Yeah, David is saying you saw the uncle in the newspaper earlier. It was a coupon for a free lobotomy or electroshock therapy session. I guess when you move to the town, like when someone moves to town, you get the little coupon book from the welcome wagon. Free for one good lobotomy.
Free lobotomy.
And a small ice cream sundae with one topping.
Yeah, having the film be as drab and bleak at the moment, I suppose audience member of the time, everyone knows Oz. This is the return to Oz. No one knows it's a kinder trauma film yet. Yeah. And so this bleakness, this bland, terrifying almost world, you're just going to expect them to go back to Oz, and it's going to be beautiful, bright, vibrant, colorful, welcoming, warm, friendly.
Yeah. oh, definitely. I mean, and I think maybe this is one of the problems with the film had when it was marketed. If you imagine you said to the kids, we're going to go watch the new Wizard of Oz film. We made a new Wizard of Oz film. And tell you in to see this.
Bring your kids. That'll be great.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who saw this in the theatre, or when it came out, I saw this a few years after it came out on VHS, and I remember it being very dark. But again, I didn't go and see it in the theatre because it wasn't shown in our local theatre. But again, this is what makes me wonder if a lot of it takes place in her mind, and there's a wonderful ambiguity to it, as like she's got the jack-o'-lantern there given to her by a character who we will learn about later. It's the
framing of that tree in the bottom left panel of the windows, just making everything just a sprinkle more spooky. Was that a reflection of the light then that wasn't swaying in the wind, or was it a light outside?
It might have been light.
There you go. Look again in the window at the top of the door.
Yeah,
you see a second light. I think it is just a second light outside. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
This happy little fellow is the gouger.
Why would you send that woman with the most aggressive shoulder pads I've ever seen and the two grungiest looking nurses?
I've just realized something. Those two guards,
Orderlies?
also those two orderlies, are people who played wheelers later in the film. And the noise of the trolley they're pushing along
is the wheeler noise.
So there is another. I'm actually on this watch party now appreciating there's another depth to this film. We saw her lunch pail taken away from her. And that will. Exactly. Eric's saying, so is she dreaming? So she's dreaming the rest of the movie? I don't know.
It's an interpretation for sure.
Has Dorothy been lobotomized and this is her mind going?
Lizard Man reminding me that Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle of Flesh, exists. Thanks for that. I had banished that from my brain.
Immortal Rumor says, every woman then dressed as a Disney villain.
Yeah.
What? Exactly, Sharon. If you think about The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy put the people she knew in Kansas as the characters, as the people she sees in Oz. So maybe something's happening here. It's interesting, but it makes you wonder what's really happening and what's not happening. Exactly, Onzi. Every character in the movie in real life events materialize in Oz. It could be a dream or it could be real. That's what they want the audience to decide. By the way, for those who are watching this at the moment, Dom is taking over running things for just next week while I'm on holiday. We use a similar machine here to actually get the broadcast onto YouTube. Dom has to wear big rubber gloves to operate it.
There has to be a lightning strike as well, which in Vegas doesn't happen often.
Exactly.
All the actors, including our little Dorothy here, just doing amazing work. The amount of emotion they can convey without moving, it's tremendous. And the score definitely helps with that.
Great. It's beautifully shot, this movie, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't think darkness should be hard to shoot, but it is. As any amateur filmmaker knows, it's not about the darkness. It's about lighting it so it looks like darkness, so you can still see what's going on. What was that shadow? Oh, the score again. It's a horror movie score.
It is. Look at this, running down the hallway with the lightning flashing and the power flickering off and on. This is horror. This is pure horror.
It feels like Resident Evil.
But again, it's beautifully just shot.
Imagine that. The dark, rainy woods are a more comfortable and attractive environment than the house.
Than the asylum. Immortal Rumor says, what's it like living in Vegas? I always like the idea of visiting the desert land states in America.
I enjoy it tremendously. The only problem is every weekend, the Californians come in.
Oh, God.
Now, Vegas is great. Everything's only 20 minutes away because the freeway system is useful, very useful. However, it is 100 degrees outside. Without air conditioning, I'd be dead.
Lizardman says, I'm sensing a pattern with Disney's horror fair. Creepy dark woods. Yeah.
This water could not have been warm.
No. I saw James Cameron saying that when they filmed Titanic, the water can't be warm because it starts to give off steam.
That's the problem. Can't have those nice warm jacuzzi pools. No, it's going to be cold.
No. This looks thoroughly unpleasant to film, this bit.
However, seeing that there aren't many wide shots of Dorothy there, I'm guessing this was in a pool of some kind. I would hope so anyway for the actress. So. What river?
But exactly, Mr. Furzel. What about her friend? Exactly.
What about her friend?
Exactly. What about her friend?
Even the color grading has changed. Look, we've gone so much brighter. Dorothy's dress, the pinks are popping more brilliantly.
Edward the Black Prince says her friend's dead, at least in my version. Mad Matt says, are all the portals to Oz natural disasters? Kind of.
Yep. Wait till you see the volcano one.
I would say that's a very nice animatronic chicken. I think it was Jim Henson's Creature Shop did a lot of the creations for this.
Can't go wrong with Jim. We're going to see Kirk fighting something in a bit, aren't we?
This is why I was saying I'm getting the Dune vibes, because he made Dune just before this.
Oh, yeah. He had a few stills left from Dune.
I'm expecting a giant sandworm with more dudes riding it in the background. That would be... I'd love to see that.
What? Deep.
Yeah. 500 Fremen running across the desert behind her. We could have this weird watch party supercut where we've had desert things. We could have like all the Fremen running around in the background in the sand there. We could have, like I say, we could have Kirk fighting somebody. We could have Superman kicking missiles.
God, we don't want to go back to Star Trek 5.
No.
Yeah, a little shaky there with the superimposing.
Yeah. But Lizardman says that's a really good chicken animatronic that talk. It is. It's super
phenomenal. Easily could mistake that for a real chicken.
Exactly. I mean, they talk where I live as well.
Yeah. Who hasn't met a talking chicken?
Exactly. Oh, welcome. We've got Cute Cult saying, I was always said that Toto was demoted in this movie. And Hell if I Know says, Dom, ever been to the Mob Museum? If not, check it out. It's great. Great moonshine.
The Mob Museum is fantastic, and that eye in the stone is horrifying.
Yes.
But the speakeasy beneath the Mob Museum, I haven't been there yet. I need to. It wasn't there when I went. It didn't exist yet. But now I know it does.
Calbot says, so chickens can talk in Oz, but not dogs? Dogs can talk in Oz. Just Toto doesn't really like Dorothy, so he didn't want to speak to her. Okay, this is going to be terrifying now when you consider something that we've just learned about the Land of Oz. Yes, Immortal Rumus, a lot of it was shot in the UK, if not the bulk of it.
UK is that terrifying.
Yes.
Our rocks do have eyes.
So, it's a lunch pail tree, which is fantastic. So we've learned animals can speak in Oz and be understood by people there. I'm waiting for the chat to say, "Oh God, that's horrifying," in a second when you see what she has. A ham sandwich.
At least it's not fried chicken.
Yeah, a ham sandwich made from meat, of course. And in the land of Oz, animals are all vocal.
Oh, this is terrifying.
Chicken!
A chicken?
Chicken!
The trees eat any pigs that pass by. Exactly. Exactly right, Anzu.
That's terrifying. In a minute, though, there's a brief scene, and it really, really frames the old thing that this isn't the previous Wizard of Oz film. This isn't your grandmother's Wizard of Oz. Lizard Man says, never has a discussion between a face on a rock, a face on a rock wall to an unseen voice about a chicken seemed so creepy. That's true, Mad Matt. Yeah, McDonald Land is terrifying. The fact that the McNuggets willingly dive into the sources. Look.
Oh no. It's a road in Birmingham.
It's a road made of bricks that are yellow. What could it be?
I'm getting anxiety for her running on such an unstable.
I'm
waiting for a trip
I was
and seriously injure herself.
Exactly, for the production to be halted while they have to repair her broken leg or knee or arm.
Body.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oz's answer to Birmingham, people are saying.
Yep.
The Emerald City's not in a good condition.
Looks like modern day Birmingham now.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Detroit, yeah. Oh, it's so creepy. When is being turned to stone not just terrifying. The worst case scenario? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Calbot, that's a bad pun. Everybody must get stoned. But there we go. Now we can hear that noise again.
Oh.
I know. It's pretty...
Imagine losing your head.
Where could their heads be?
A Tin Woodsman.
Oh dear.
Ugh.
Oh, that noise. That noise.
I used to play in areas that looked like this as a kid as well, so it's like double creepy for me.
I'm just going to disappear for 2 seconds, Dom, because I need to grab a drink, because I finished my drink and I'm absolutely parched, because it's very hot.
Go for it. I'll hold the fort. Oh. So yes, young childhood Dom used to play in derelict areas like construction sites that look just like this in Birmingham. Oh, they even squeak. Like the sound they make when they squeal sounds like rusty bending metal. They're just horrifying. It's the elongated limbs as well. Slender Man's got nothing on these things. If Oingo Boingo became main characters, yeah. I am waiting for the Oingo Boingo soundtrack to kick in. Actually, yeah, why has Tim Burton not done an Oz movie? That would have been interesting. Yes, Onzi, it does have strong Freddy Krueger vibes. The Deadly Desert's not so bad. It's here. It's Vegas. It's fine. It's like a twisted Krusty Krab. Not Krusty Krab. That's SpongeBob. What's the Simpsons clown called again? Oh, Krusty the Clown.
Krusty the Clown. Hello, sorry about that. I'm back. I didn't just really have to hide because this was so terrifying. I did actually have to get a drink. So
just left me alone for it.
Yeah.
Yes, Krusty, not the crab, the clown. It's like a twisted Krusty Clown laugh.
Now this, I was talking to Dom about this before we started the watch party. So TikTok was played by an actor who was a gymnast called Michael Sundin. And he was only permitted to be in the costume for 2 to 2.5 minutes at a time, because he would have to walk around inside that costume with his head between his legs and holding onto his ankles, waddling. That is how he was inside the costume. Let's post a photo for our Discord chat. It's pretty terrifyingly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's horrifying. But yes, Edward the Black Prince, you are correct. I meant 80s Tim Burton rather than modern Tim Burton. Oh, it does look painful.
It looks horrendously. Eric, he was only allowed to be in the costume for 2.5 minutes maximum at a time in that position. So you can see that would have, the effect is amazing, but it would be, yeah.
Could there not have been a simpler way to do it?
It's however they did it. But I do love the TikTok costume. It's really, really...
Oh, yeah. Very steampunk. I love it.
It is. It is. It's very steampunk. And the voice of TikTok that we are hearing is actually Stephen Norrington. Oh, no, sorry, that's not Stephen Norrington. Sorry, that's someone else in the film now, who I will introduce. Just go back to my trivia. But everybody was played by other people.
Like I said, this film oozes talent.
Quality. Oh, it really does. Chaos Bit, that's brilliant. He's steampunk Wilford Brimley.
He does remind me of Wilford Brimley, yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Phonic. It was Sean Barrett who was the voice of TikTok. Jedi Wizard says, folks, I want to talk to you about Rustabeatus. That's interesting. TikTok, though, always identified himself with his line saying he's not alive and will never be, thank goodness. So he's an interesting automaton in a movie that he's happy being who he is. He's not like so many robot type characters we see in films where they long to be human.
It's overrated. And he knows it.
Yep.
TikTok would later star in, now taking over the world as the automaton application.
Yeah. Yeah, his blue gem, the whole costume is great with the blue gem eyes as well.
Yeah. Imagine how uncomfortable it must have been.
Yeah. And bearing in mind, he couldn't see where he was going at all. Oh, no, apparently he had a small screen with him.
Oh.
So he could see certain elements of where he was going. I'm wondering if the camera for that would have been under that part of the badge that's sort of sticking out downwards so you could see directly in front of him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like a, what is it called? These submarine telescoping
Periscope.
things. There we go. Like a periscope kind of. Oh.
It's the noise is just. And everybody, TikTok is one of the most badass movie robots ever. Look at him.
Taking him out in waves.
Yeah.
With ham sandwiches. Mad Map, the sequel to this, would have been even darker with KFC. Yes. It's perfect. He takes prisoners as well.
Yeah, but also, I think he's actually physically hurting him to answer. He's crushing him.
Yeah.
When he says no, and he goes, answer her. He's doing something. Look, see? I think that pipe is part of their body, and he's actually crushing it.
The eyebrow game is pretty on point.
I did have to get a drink, honestly, but it was just, I wasn't hiding from the Wheelers. Oh, I want a TikTok in my life.
Everyone needs a TikTok in their life.
I want him just to be looking out for me, you know? So everybody in the chat, with your various fantasy and sci-fi movies, how do you think TikTok rates as a cool robot automaton?
We have to have a best robot sidekick like Showdown.
Yeah.
Oh, we can give that to Carla for the socials.
Lizard Man says, I'd settle for a robot buddy of any kind, really.
What about what's his name from Buck Rogers? Is it just Biddy?
Oh, Tweaky.
Tweaky, that's it. Useless kid.
Biddy, biddy, biddy. Yeah. Sharon says he's a solid 8. Mr. Furzel says he's no Johnny 5. Dave May says he's a 10 out of 10.
Johnny 5 is a lot. Well, yeah, just give him a laser cannon on his arm.
Yeah.
We've also got set.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And it's a great introduction to the character. The music is creepy. Mad Matt says TikTok's almost literally a Clockwork Orange.
Why don't we have more doors that open like that? 3-way doors.
Cute Cult says that TikTok would be such a great robot friend / sidekick. Yeah.
That's how I want to be in my old age.
Says, there's not enough mirrors in this room.
Yeah, could do with a few more.
But equally, how well is it shot that they've not managed to
not got a camera
or any of the crew?
Yeah, that's how I want to be in my old age. Hyper flamboyant, being bedazzled with jewels and sharp objects, playing a lute.
The fact she's got sort of quilled feathers on her it's a great outfit, but it's just terrifying. And the sets are gorgeous in this. They're so good.
Where did the budget go?
This is awful. But this gets worse. This gets worse.
It does. It does. It gets worse. It should be the tagline for this film.
Yes. It's when you realize all the heads are looking around at you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Phonic says this movie looks like a Terry Gilliam creation, to be honest. It's really creepy. And it gets worse.
It gets worse.
It really does. Exactly, Sharon. Don't forget when this came out, it was marketed at kids. If you were the right kind of kid, this was amazing to see.
Yeah,
if you weren't, or you had quite straight-laced, strict parents, I suspect many kids were marched out of the cinema.
Yes, you'll awaken a goth kink in many a people later in your life.
Actually, can you imagine if they'd have done a scene where Dorothy's head was actually cut off and worn by her, like a child's head on the adult body?
Oh, that would look so weird. I recently saw Men, and there is a scene where a man's head is like shrunk down to childhood size, and it's so uncanny. Oh, I'm looking desperately.
Dorothy is so understanding of everything.
I know, she's awesome. It's a talent, wrecking a room. I think we've discussed this before.
Yeah.
It takes a certain skill to make a room look destroyed, or at least left to ruin.
Immortal says, if someone I met just asked me to follow them as a kid, to them I'd be like, yeah, I'm good, thinking stranger danger. And Mr. Verzel says, even in danger, Dorothy's so polite. She is.
Yeah.
Wow, this is not Kentucky.
You'd be fried in an instant. Oh. It kind of looks like the Scarecrow has beheaded the lion there and he's just holding his head like a trophy. See?
It does.
Mm.
You see, inherently, he should be terrifying.
He is a little.
He is, but he's also incredibly polite and friendly.
We all are, Jack. We all are.
He seems quite kind of believable, though, as a character, that he's not threatening, but it's...
Timestamp, roughly 49 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's right, about there. Hmm. That's right, David. The voice of Scarecrow is Brian Henson, the voice of Jim Henson.
Jim Henson's son.
Yeah, Jim Henson's son. Wonderful performance.
I'm just waiting for him to fall apart.
That's quite terrifying.
Henson animatronics are always, like the puppets that they make
Oh,
are
they are.
always just...
Yeah, they are the gold standard. Absolutely.
Evil Dead vibes.
Yep.
I have to admit, I do prefer this trio of sidekicks than the original Oz film.
I'm going to say it now, and a lot of people might not agree with me. This is a better film than the first Wizard of Oz film, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's got a lot more to it.
Oh, as an adult, that sounds kind of creepy.
Yeah. Mortal Woman says, I concur, definitely better than the original. It's a lot, it's beautifully shot film. It's just really great stuff.
Ah, yes. Uh, oh God, what was that film called? The Oz musical with MJ.
So
Was it just Oz?
can we just appreciate that that poor Michael, who was inside TikTok, was having to walk up
Upstairs.
a spiral staircase where the stairs are uneven in width in the costume.
Yeah. The Wiz. That's it. Thank you, Mad Matt.
Yeah.
Where they got
Okay.
MJ and didn't let him dance.
Who's ready for some more kinder trauma?
Oh, born ready. I like the Art Deco statues in here, though. They're quite cute.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder how long they took for that shot of the chicken just picking up the cord. The head of a what?
A Gump.
Oh, I thought you said goat. I was like, that's incorrect.
Gump. I've just realised something. You know why she's making that strange raspy snoring noise? Like a tube? Because she's not got a head on at the moment. So it's just her throat going.
Oh God.
Yeah. There's so many little bits you don't appreciate.
He's so awesome. TikTok is just the best.
It is. Fraglord, we are 54 minutes in. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Just waiting for it. We're tensing up.
We are. We're tensing. Yeah, this will be the point that a lot of parents were like, right, we're leaving, when this was in the theatre.
Powder alive.
Yeah. Oh. And as we can see, the body has no head. Oh God, this is awful. This is anyone else not sleeping tonight? Yep, phonic. It's, yeah. Leanne says, this is very creepy for kids. It's creepy for adults. It's just nightmare fuel, this is.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope. Oh, wrong film.
Embry, welcome, saying, how do her memories transfer between heads? I don't know. I don't know quite how it works. I'm assuming some of them
do.
No, I don't think they fully do, because Jack said one of the heads was going to make him into a pie, and she hadn't put the head back on.
I think they just talk to each other, I guess. When
Yeah.
It's like a data transfer thing.
If his brains ran down, how can he talk? Happens to people all the time. Great line. Okay. Has anyone seen that episode of The Simpsons where they accidentally create the frog Prince and is vomiting and says, "Please kill me now. Every moment I live is agony."
Every moment I live is agony.
Yeah, that's kind of how I imagine the Gump to be right now. Because they've strapped a moose's head to a sofa with a broom up its backside to be its tail and some palm leaves for its wings. That's the one, David. That's the one. I can imagine the Gump having the opinion of like, "Please kill me now. What have you done to my body?"
Klaatu Barakta Nikto.
Yeah.
Or chicken.
Where's my body? Where's my family? What have you done?
My kids, the wife. Oh God.
Oh.
Such a melodramatic villain entrance as well.
It
Yeah,
is.
there it is, David. Please kill me. Oh, yeah, this scene was guest directed by David Cronenberg.
It is. It really is phonic. This is almost like body horror. It's a Frankenhooker type scene.
Yeah. Even this triumphant scene, this escape scene, it's creepy.
Yeah. Yes, Sharon, exactly. It walks the line of acceptable PG, I think, because we don't actually see anything gruesome. They can get away with it.
Yeah, it just leaves everlasting scars in the psyche of the child that saw it.
Why do I exist? What is the purpose of my life after I've taken you somewhere?
It's to pass butter. Oh God. Oh, yuck. Why is he laughing about his impending demise?
Yeah. So Jedi says, "Is that all I am? Is there nothing more?"
Oh, ground, want to be friends?
He's very jovial and happy about being reanimated as some kind of furniture animal abomination.
Can you imagine if you woke up?
Immortal Rimmers is saying, "I'd love to see an Oz film directed by David Lynch." I think we're seeing it now, just about.
I demand to have these creatures. They'll ride on all fours. They'll make the sound of screeching iron. They'll be nightmare fuel. I'll call them the Wheelers.
Yeah. But can we also take a moment to appreciate how incredible that animatronic of the chicken is?
Again, phenomenal work.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed as well, with our last Disney horror film, there was a thing about people being trapped in mirrors in that.
Yeah, reflections.
Yes.
It turns out Disney horror is only able to do Disney horror with mirrors.
Exactly.
Oh God, the slightly sped up footage, it just makes it that much more unsettling.
Yeah. then he starts violently shaking, trying to throw one of them off him, laughing. Oh, Sharon, no, they're not throwing TikTok out. TikTok's the MVP of the movie. It's the fact that
the way back somehow.
It's the fact as well, the Wheelers of, oh, okay.
Oh. Ah, yes, the Deadly Desert. It happens in Las Vegas. If you venture outside of Vegas proper and hit the sands, you disappear.
Yeah.
The sandworms get you.
Yeah. But again, it's just everything about this film is terrifying in parts. It's
Country Bear Jamboree.
Oh, no. Mad Matt, I am going to be in Disney World next week, and I am not going to the Country Bear Jamboree. It's one thing I will not go to. The Gump's laughing, we're all going to die.
Ah, yes, the sand people. It's going to do the maneuver from Maverick. Everyone's going to experience exactly. 10 Gs. The only safe way to do this is an inverted descent.
But again, the score is fantastic.
It is.
Sharon's showing a photo of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh no, we don't need more Kinder Trauma. The child catcher, or whatever his name was.
The child catcher. Because you do know the child catcher in that movie is actually a professional child catcher in real life.
Oh, God. Oh.
Children, lollipops, candy.
Again, Dorothy being way too reasonable.
Right, so the Gump has now fallen apart.
Completely to shreds.
Like his body's fallen apart, but he doesn't seem to be... So he doesn't seem to be writhing in agony, but his head, he's been decapitated. Oh, David is posting a screenshot of bed knobs and broomsticks. Well,
Fraggle, I miss matte paintings as well.
I'm going to say something now. There's some people who believe that Mary Poppins gets her powers from the Isle of Mabumbe, from Bed knobs and broomsticks. But anyway, Sharon's saying, so there's a moose head just writhing on the ground. Might want to do something about that, just saying.
I was about to say a Sam Raimi made Oz movie, but there already is one.
It does, Fraglord. It very much like the Evil Dead animations. Right, he's saying he didn't want to be reanimated. He's, please kill me now.
Yeah. We've all been in that part of our lives where we identify with the headless moose, the bodiless moose, even. What about the
Chicken.
chicken
Chicken.
line delivered by William Shatner?
Yeah.
Oh God, the bed has feet. I forgot about that.
And they can now walk. Yeah. Yep. There's a theory about Mary Poppins is a Time Lord and her umbrella is a TARDIS.
Wouldn't it be her little bag that's a TARDIS?
Ooh, Sharon, that's a good point. Let's throw this out here. The comment: if this was to be made today, do you see them toning down the content to be more kid-friendly or ramping it up and going for the R rating? Could either work.
Toning it down.
I just don't think this would get made, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. Stop motion animation freaked me out so much as a child.
Give it back. So they've attached the Gump's head back to the sofa and he can now walk. But that's his body. But there seems to be a big part of his body snapped off to the side. How come he's not like, oh my God, look, it's like a panel of...
Whole side of, just, lost half of your body. He's lost some body mass. It's fine.
Great sets as well. Great practical sets we're seeing here.
It's so dreamlike. It's so ethereal.
David May says, and now the LSD starts working. Now this is the interesting twist, isn't it? So are the emeralds the property of the Gnome King if they're taken from his kingdom?
It's not.
Well, I don't necessarily believe the Scarecrow is the thief, because the Scarecrow, the Emerald City had the emeralds when he became king. Yep, Mad Matt, I side with the Gnome King.
My brain keeps replacing the Gnome King with the stone creature from the Never-Ending Story.
The rock monster, the rock biter.
Yeah.
And that's a watch party we're doing later this year, actually.
More kinder trauma.
Yeah.
Do you remember the early video game Chips Challenge, Andrew?
I know of it.
I believe I was playing that on the family PC while this scene was...
Quite possibly. The thing is, this used to play on BBC One quite regularly, didn't it? During Sundays and things. About 3 p.m. it was shown. It wasn't
Do you remember MasterChef having that dark obsidian void
Yes.
as well? I think that followed this film. I'm unlocking so many memories right here.
And Dom won't be here next week. He'll be in therapy.
Getting electroshocked.
Therapy.
And our Return to Oz doesn't exist. Let's just zap you. I did get a coupon in the mail today for a free electroshock.
Free electroshock.
I'm not the Garignac.
Oh. It's the fact they're all so tired from wheelering back as fast as they could. We're seeing some absolutely wonderful effects in a moment where the claymation changes.
It's already amazing, but
yeah, but this just gets
dialed up to 11.
Yeah. Oh, that's
getting
creepy.
labyrinth vibes.
Yeah, the wall opening made out of hands as well. It's just terrifying. It's so well done. I mean, the whole film is really well done, but this sequence. Fraglord says, any explanation for the sofa elk? If you haven't seen the bits leading up to this in the movie, yeah, it's. Wait.
Those meat pies.
No, they're rock cakes or something like they're supposed to be. That's right, Immortal Promise. The Gnome King is the psychiatric doctor we saw earlier, the actor behind him.
Limestone pie, yeah.
Yes, Dorothy drinks it and screams, my inside! This is a warning to those of you out there. We do not recommend you eat limestone, and we do not advocate drinking melted silver unless you are a gnome king and or a rock monster. We're just putting that out there. Please do not copy this behavior at home.
Yes. This movie was acted by professionals, and they could handle their drink. They could handle their limestone.
Exactly. But as we're noticing that the Gnome King is now starting to become a bit more formed.
Mm-hmm. It's what he wanted anyway.
Yep. Ooh.
Oh, hello, Bones. You want to be part of the watch party too?
Okay. Oh, wow. Getting bigger.
He is. He's growing.
He's growing. I would say the Gnome King is a far better villain than the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh, yeah. Very cunning.
Yeah, Lizardman saying the stop motion's crazy good. Everything production-wise about this movie is phenomenal.
Rocks would have sold like hotcakes if the movie was a box office hit.
Is how, I'll be fair, Fruza Balk is great, considering she's acting mainly against puppets and, you know, things that weren't there and were imposed in. Oh God, this is terrifying. When you thought the Wheelers couldn't get even more scary.
They come in bulk.
Milton says, okay, I'll play your game since the alternative is the furnace of death. Mad Matt says, why wasn't Clint Howard cast as a Wheeler? Well, I can tell you why he wasn't, because Ron Howard wasn't involved in the production of this. And Ron Howard has to be directing a movie for Clint Howard to be in it. This is awful. It's the fact they've got those creepy helmets with the faces when they put their heads down. And there you go. We can see now. This is beautiful. The Gnome King is, as people are losing the challenge, he's becoming more human. We're seeing. But the kind of the way he is now, it's such a great kind of stepping stone with the makeup between the rock claymation and the real actor. It's a great makeup here.
There he is with his pipe.
Yep.
And again, foreground and background in focus at the same time.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love the fact he's wearing ruby slippers with a little bow. Just Dorothy's fault. Because she didn't take more care of the ruby slippers. The Gnome King and those ruby slippers looks fabulous, says Immortal Rimus. Oh, welcome. Green Raptor's now joined us. Welcome. I find that wall with the hands, so there's something about lots of hands is so creepy.
Yeah, it's unsettling to say the least.
Edward the Black Prince says, so it's safe to assume that Glinda's the good witch is dead.
To be fair, this looks like a neat hallway.
Yes. Again, this is all playing on, is this going on in her mind or not? Is this some elaborate dream? Because don't forget that dreams, one of the functions of dreams is to effectively sort your short-term memories into long-term memories. That's why you often dream about things you've seen in the day. It's your brain processing everything.
And it's the same actor, like you said, playing
The
the
doctor.
therapist and the
Yeah.
like. Calling him a therapist is a bit generous.
The electrician.
The electrician and the gnome king, and both of them are offering, not really threatening, but offering to take away Oz forever.
Yeah.
There's so much delicateness in one room.
Exactly. He's a much better, thank you, Lizardman. He's a much better villain than the Wicked Witch, who was just, I'll get you and your ruby slippers on your little dog. But this is, he's playing with her.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite arrogant in his power because he assumes that even by letting her in there, she'll never be able to guess.
Mm.
And also TikTok being the MVP here with an idea, with a good idea. Oh.
You'll rust.
Yeah. Here we go. But again, TikTok, Onzi saying, this reminds me of Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, the last scene. But by the way, if you love Indiana Jones, we're kicking off our summer of popcorn this year with Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I'm looking forward to. But Lizard Man, for a robot without life, he has a lot of heart in old TikTok. Exactly.
MVP.
He is. He's the MVP of the movie. I want just a franchise of TikTok movies.
Right.
Seriously. Exactly. Sharon saying, is Dorothy dreaming? She could be so desperate to work out the situation in Oz as she sees it that to her doesn't matter if it's a dream or not. Dreams are our brain's way of working out crap we go through our real lives. So Dorothy is merely working through existence. The only way she can. She believes it to be real, so her brain does too. Exactly. That's what's really interesting about this. Oh, he's evil. He's so evil. Lower. One of the things I quite liked is that the fact this film really went its own way for the most part. The
Pretty
only character who's properly in the movie is Dorothy. This supporting, because they could have brought back, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Lion, the Witch, or any of the other characters and done something like that. But it's nice that it's a completely unique adventure.
Imagine if we had more. Oh, I'm getting dizzy just looking at her.
Yeah. Mm. Then there's nothing to worry about. Oh, here we go, Dorothy.
I hate it when my corn cob pipe explodes when I throw it aggressively against the floor.
Well, that's the thing. You need to be careful with your corncob pipes. Yeah, exactly. Sharon's right. Scarecrow is the least creepy one in this universe. Yeah. But as we can see, he's losing his power as the people start to turn back into themselves, and he's turning back into the sort of the rock Gnome King. Why did you bring me back? I'm in agony again.
Every moment I live is agony.
Let her escape.
Great effect.
Yeah.
Simple yet perfectly used.
So good.
Oh, I got the noise.
Yeah. And you can see the wheelers aren't loyal. They're just running.
Don't blame them.
Yeah.
No. Again, a great set. The everything that's moving. That actor must have been terrified that a vase would fall on their head. Where's my hound
Now we're seeing,
gone? Oh, there he is.
we're seeing a great sort of classic effect of the set collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Kinder trauma. Here it comes.
Yeah. Bit more.
Ah.
It's magnificent.
It's the glaive when you need it. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. I love this animation. It's so brilliant.
Yeah. Zardos. Oh.
Well, the Gump's now bothered about his sofa body when.
Yeah, he wanted rid of it earlier.
Yeah. Oh, this is terrifying. The fact he can have gargoyle
fire-breathing lions.
Yeah. And everywhere she goes is trapped. This is terrifying. Yeah, Onzi says this was terrifying as a kid, but this is so well done. And the mixing of the stop motion animation with the live action here is just brilliant.
It's brilliant because the lighting, you don't expect lighting to be, well, they've made lighting be an issue, but they've again, perfected it. Lighting
Yeah.
could be the make or break that completely destroys the illusion, but here it's perfect.
Yeah. Immortal Ruin says this is a pinnacle of claymation. It is some of the best claymation you've ever seen. Yeah. But equally, it's in keeping with the first story that the bad villain has a very simple weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh, very kind of him.
Mm-hmm.
Put him down gently.
As gently as you can for
Giant pumpkin head. Yep. Sharon, that's right. A chicken egg. That's why. He's dairy free. Gnomes are lactose intolerant, don't you know?
Oh. And again, much like with The Last Crusade, just slithering down into a skeletal form of a rock. Sweet. My fresh kicks.
Yep. She's got her ruby slippers back.
Oh, but he stretched them out.
Yes. I'm assuming because they're magic, the ruby slippers, they fit the wearer.
D&D rules where magic items just fit to whatever.
But who doesn't want to see TikTok in the ruby slippers?
Oh, he'd be overpowered. He needs a good nerf. If
Hang on, where is TikTok? They haven't saved TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah, the only problem with the ruby slippers is they're a little bit overpowered.
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, they are a bit, aren't they?
Oh, they even made the lion look terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, Mad Matt got it. Deus Ex moccasins.
Oh.
There's Mombi.
Vegas, baby. The Luxor
right.
light just bringing us home.
Oh, there's the man. There's the man, the MVP of the movie, TikTok.
MVP.
That's right. Do, 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 do. But if you notice it, the palette of the film has now got a bit brighter again.
Yeah.
And the Wheelers have been accepted back into the society. That they were merely pawns.
And TikTok was buffed.
TikTok's had the C3PO treatment.
Yep.
Look at him, there
this
he is.
This is very Star Wars now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Belinda's got a medal. Where's TikTok's medal? Does TikTok not get a medal as well?
Oh, we need medal for TikTok. Hashtag medal for TikTok.
Hang on, though. One thing I have realised, though, they are parading the villain around in a cage in the victory celebrations. That's a little bit wrong.
That's fine.
Okay, and if you look in the crowd, there is a scary clown with a giant ruff around his neck. I don't want to ever see him again in my life.
Yeah, TikTok will get the medal in the 7th film.
Belinda wanted you to have this.
Oh God, the frog with the giant glasses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we can see that this mysterious girl is the avatar for Dorothy in Oz. That's right, Immortal Rumus. There is a frogman, literally a frogman in a suit with glasses.
I was.
Yes, Mad Matt. Deep Roy did play the Tinsman. He didn't do very much. But this is quite nice. This is quite nice. It's another Disney film. It's another Disney film with a blonde girl being restored from a mirror universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edward the Black Prince says, she's still dead in my version. So we can see these are the women who are dancing outside who had their heads removed, and those heads were in the cage, but all that's been restored. You're very forgiving.
She is incredibly forgiving.
Yeah.
The lion is so unnerving.
They haven't given the Gump a new body yet either. They're just carrying his head around.
He's carrying his. He probably likes it that way. Should have thought about that before you made your wish.
Sharon says, I will stalk you in your life in Kansas.
I do need to read the Oz books. I'm sure it'll be very enlightening.
But I'm going to upset everyone on the watch party now by saying, what if this is also a metaphor for saying goodbye to childish things, your imagination as a child, the play universe you lived in? What if it's a metaphor for that, part of growing up?
That's okay. It goes to the land of fairy, according to Neil Gaiman and Charles Vess.
Yeah.
It's a reference to Stardust for everyone who has read/seen Stardust. But yes, it's a very effective metaphor for going through the transition between childhood and adulthood.
Yep. So now we're finding Dorothy washed up on a riverbank.
Those glorious grey skies of England.
That's right. And that bird, according to my subtitles, is a whippoorwill.
There you go.
It says the subtitles said it, whippoorwill chirping.
So these are like the Stranger Things subtitles where it gives you way more information than you asked for.
That's right.
Where's my Toto gone? He ran away. He's gone back to his mum. Dog POV.
Yeah.
Did Sam Raimi direct this one?
There's an alternate take. We see the dog just leap and bite her throat.
Yeah.
Oh. We need 15. A girl's missing. We need 15 yokels with rough sticks to go find her.
We thought you would never ask. Oh no.
So he descended and burnt in fire, which is kind of how we saw the Gnome King go.
Mm.
Morning. We just got the head nurse in our rickety carriage prison. What's she been arrested for?
Maybe she burnt down the house.
No, unless she summoned the lightning. What's she been rescued for in the real world? Well, sorry, what's she been arrested for in the real world?
It's for your own good, dear. Get in the cage.
Good point, Cal, about the patients in the basement, yes.
What? I've only just left you. Jeez.
Yeah. Sharon says the people she saw were represented in Oz, just like in the first movie. So ultimately, was it a dream?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Exactly, Sharon. Is Dorothy hallucinating Oz? I don't know. Is it she said goodbye, but can always try and go back to where she was? Oh, that's a good one, Embry. I want a movie with Dorothy all grown up in her 40s, thinking she had mental issues as a kid. Phonics says, for me, it's now Bulk, better than Garland.
Yeah. I prefer Bulk Dorothy for sure.
Yep.
But I'm biased.
And there we are, everybody. That was Return to Oz. So for our friends who've never seen this before in our Discord and on YouTube, let us know what you think of it. If you've never seen it before, and if you've seen it not for a long time, let us know what you think. Dom, I know you've not seen it for quite a while. I rewatched it today to revisit the film. What do you think?
I enjoy it even more as an adult. I think it ages very well. The technical magnificence of the film is just gorgeous. That whole sequence, the amount of stop motion animation in this film. Oof. I mean, I love stop motion anyway, and this was some of the best examples of stop motion I've ever seen. It's worth it for that alone. But the Kinder Trauma is a bonus. Show it to your kids. Give them nightmares.
I agree with you there. I absolutely agree with you. I mean, I think it's a wonderful film. I think it's such a shame that it's not as well beloved by many people, and it's not a front and center film that a lot of people are aware of. It's such a great film. It's so well made. Everyone brings their brings their A game to this. It's just brilliant film. I really, really enjoy this. Everything's great. There's a couple of wobbly effects for its age, but hey, that's fine. But looking at our friends over on Discord and YouTube, we've got Lizardman saying, I still like this movie, creepy as it is. Sharon says, I loved this movie. Glad I didn't see it as a kid, though. Jedi Wizard saying, I haven't watched this in years. It was a great watch. Onzi says, love this movie. Leanne says, it's a great movie. Fraglord said, didn't catch the start, but it was interesting to see the special effects on the sets. Eric said, I liked it. Great effects and score. Phonic says, well made, great set design and effects, amazing throughs, overall a pretty smart story. Chaos Fear said, while it was creepy in places, it was very well done. I enjoyed it a lot. It is great, this film. It really, really is a great film. Great effects. Hell if I know, welcome. I didn't see you joined us. Never saw it, but I think this is a worthy sequel to the original, even if it was not meant to be. Yeah, it's not a sequel to the original. It's a continuation of the Oz story, which is great. And Sharon says the effects were amazing and top-notch. Yeah, it's a great film. And it's one I've had a lot of joy bringing to you to watch as part of the watch parties before I take a week off. Yes, that's right. I am going away for a week. I fly on Wednesday. I'm having a week at Disney World. And then 6 weeks later, I'm having 2 weeks at Disney World. So making the most of my annual pass. Embry says this movie is massively underrated. I was discussing with Dom, actually. Unfortunately, one of the things I do like to do when I'm in the Disney resorts is the parks, try and look for props from the films, because they are especially in Hollywood studios. But unfortunately, I don't think there's any props around from Return to Oz. There's some from Rocketeer, but unfortunately not from this. So next week, Dom will be running the show. We'll be handing over to the main man. So Dom, do you want to, since you're the primary host next week, do you want to explain what we'll be watching and what we'll be doing, or you'll be doing even?
Well, next week, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we'll all need a pair of sunglasses, because we are going to be watching They Live. And that's going to be, well, on In Search of Darkness, I imagine. Or is it In Search of Tomorrow?
I think it's tomorrow. They Live is. Pretty sure.
It is a sci-fi film, so it counts.
It is a sci-fi film, yep. So,
but if you've not seen They Live, John Carpenter's amazing movie about all-consuming capitalism and how it's an abomination, then I eagerly look forward to taking you all with me on that magnificent journey. It's a great film. I love it. Roddy Piper is amazing in that film. And I believe Carla will be joining me next week as well, if I can rope her into it.
I think Carla's going on for 2 weeks, because we don't reunite for a couple of weeks, Dom, actually.
It's true.
As you're going to be doing They Live, and then when I come back, I'll be hosting Swamp Thing for you all. But Dom's going to be away.
Mm-hmm.
But after Swamp Thing, we will be watching the class. We will be all reunited together again, watching the BBC classic, which I will help you all find a link to, as it's publicly available legally, for Ghost Watch, the BBC TV drama movie. And we will be joined by a special guest that week. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but it's quite a big YouTuber friend of ours. It's not young Oliver, but it's a good friend of ours who will be joining us for Ghost Watch after that. And then the week after that, we kick off our summer of popcorn with Raiders of the Lost Ark. So that's going to be so much fun. But everybody, I'll let Dom sign off for this one. How do we say it, Dom?
Stay safe, everybody, and in 7 days, we'll see you again. Until next time.
Bye-bye.